Happy Friday, everybody. Hope your day is going wonderful. I apologize, I was having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out screencast earlier, but thankfully I got it all figured out and I'm all ready to rock and roll. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, what is a flipped classroom? A flipped classroom is an instructional strategy in a type of blended learning that reverses the traditional learning environment by delivering instructional content, often online and outside of the classroom. Moving on to advantages of a flipped classroom. Advantage number one, flipped classrooms offer courses online. This is an online course that we're taking right now. I'm currently in Spearfish, South Dakota, taking this course through South Dakota State University, which is located in Brookings, South Dakota, and it's about 5.5 hours away. That's an example right there. Moving on, students don't have to be present in a classroom for instruction if they don't want to. So, for all you introverts out there, I'm kind of like an introvert too. I grew up in the bush in Alaska, and I don't really like to be around people 24/7. And if you don't want to go to class and interact with people, a flipped classroom, it's there for you. Moving on, it offers education to students who don't have time in their schedules to go to class. So, if you're working a hard job or you're working 2 jobs and you might have kids, for example, and you can't find anybody to watch your kids for you, a flipped classroom is there to rescue you right there. The next one we're going to talk about is some flipped classroom instruction lectures are pre-recorded so students can view the lectures on their own time. We talked about it in the discussion earlier this week. I'm gonna revisit some of that stuff that we talked about. On pre-recorded lectures, students can pause, rewind, and fast forward parts of lectures. So, for example, if I'm watching a video in a fly fishing class, how to tie flies, and I'm confused or I'm lost on how to tie some flies, I can pause and rewind those parts of the videos that talk about how to tie flies, and I can watch those videos over and over again until I finally understand how to tie flies. And the same thing goes for in this class, for example, if our teacher posts some pre-recorded lecture videos on how to work Zoom, for example, or something similar to Zoom, we can do that over and over again until we finally understand the material. It's a pretty good tool and something that we should definitely take advantage of in a flipped classroom. Then we're going to conclude matters on the disadvantages. So, disadvantage number one, this is the biggest thing for an online course in a flipped classroom environment. You need to have internet access. If you don't have internet, then you just simply cannot be in a flipped classroom. It's that simple. Moving on, when technology fails, the lecture fails. And then the final one, and I think this is the most important one about a flipped classroom, some students learn better in person as opposed to online or flipped classroom material. I kind of mentioned that I was a little bit of an introvert earlier, but at the same time I learn better face to face with another person or hands-on. A lot of people are like that and are similar, and that's the biggest disadvantage about a flipped classroom, in my opinion. So that's all I have for you guys today. Have a great rest of your Friday and have a terrific weekend. See you later.